everyone. This is Keleena, and here we are. Another year, another 8/8 Lionsgate event. Nadare Krishna Shuntas Maharya Namari Nahiakyanas Naras Us. Feel the love. Nanyanosh nusukurush puhuhane namir. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I've got a lot of information to go over, and I have a lot of notes. I have been receiving information on this Lionsgate for about 6 or 7 weeks. could be longer. But I've got the whiteboard out this time, and I know a lot of you love when I bring the whiteboard out because I can give you all this information and my visuals as well. So let's get into this because there's a lot, and I have so much that I have written down. I also have, I've been connecting with Isis a lot for this Lionsgate, and there's about, I want to say maybe 12 pages of writing that she wrote through me, and that I'm actually going to read and go over that information in the Lionsgate webinar that I'm conducting on 8/8. And if you haven't signed up yet, so many people have signed up because they said last year's was so powerful with the activations and all the information. So I was informed to do another one. That link will be in the description box for you guys to sign up, and it's only $44. It'll be about 1.5 to 2 hours of activations and information. And I will give you the information that came through from Isis. There's information from Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Hathor, all these goddesses. So this Lionsgate, okay. Lionsgate, I did a big video on this about 3 or 4 years ago. There's over 50,000 views, I think, on it, or maybe a little less than that. And I went through the information at that time. Now, this time right now, this is what's relevant for this one, okay? Of course, Lionsgate takes place, okay, in August. And it takes place when the sun moves into Leo. All right. Now, for those of you that know and watched the video that I did, what's happening on 7/22 and 23, you understand that on 7/22 was the day we honor Mary Magdalene across the world. I conducted with my dear sister, Shakina Rose, and also we had a guest speaker, Raquel Spring, who is a 4th generation astrologer there. But I conducted the Sisters of the Rose activations and initiation, but also on that day brought in the new codes of the Magdalene. I was shown this back in January, that on those specific days that it needed to be conducted. Then when I went and looked it all up and saw how it was aligned with the day that we honor Mary Magdalene, and I didn't even realize that the next day was going to be the full moon, everything just fell into place. And it was also the day on the 23rd when the sun moved in to the sign of Leo, but also Aquarius, which is really big for this Lionsgate because Aquarius is the sign of freedom for me. So let's go over this. And you may not be able to see this so well, and I'm sorry, I've got this whole house I'm in has windows, and when I close everything, it's just too dark. So I'm going to do my best. So what I'm getting here, sun, I have sun and I have Sirius, okay? Sirius is the planet that is connected to the Lionsgate because it lines up, they say it lines up over the pyramids of Giza at that time. It is the brightest star in the sky. It also rises on 8/8 at its fullest peak at this time on 8/8. So Sirius is also connected to Isis. Sirius used to be called Aset or Aset, and which is Isis. That's the ancient name, okay? And Isis is the goddess Isis name here, which to me is also, when you connect that energy, when I connect, a lot of you know that I connect with the stars and my heart opens, I get downloads, I get activations. I like become one with that star. And I became one with that star a while ago. All I felt was massive love embodiment, mother love, mother energy. And this is Isis. This is Mother Mary. This is Hathor energy. This is what I see is the blue I see, which is the color of my bracelet here, which I downloaded this actual coded bracelet for my dear sister Shakina Rose, and she's creating them now because it's very important. Or there's special codes in here. This is the mother frequency, the mother energy. She gives you more information on that, but she created it and she's actually selling these now. So the color that I see coming from Sirius is this, which is the color to me of the Sacred Heart and the color of the mother frequency. So there's all kinds of information I'm giving you here, okay? Now, this month is a 13-month, okay? And for those of you that know me, know how I work with the goddess, I work with the divine feminine. 13 is the number of the goddess. It is the number of the divine feminine. It is the number that we honor the divine feminine on. We always did our rituals, our ceremonies, all of the things that were very important to us on Friday the 13th. That was such an important day. It's also one of the numbers of the Magdalene. So Mary Magdalene is the other energy that came to me and has been working. So we did that stuff in July. We opened up that new portal of new divine feminine Christ consciousness codes, brought them in, those new ones into the grid, those Magdalene codes into the grid to raise the octave. So they are in the New Earth crystalline grid now for people to receive them. Okay, so this is continuing with Lionsgate. All right, so I'm going to try and breathe in between here because I want to get this all in. Now, the 13-month, you might be wondering, how do you get the 13-month? So I'm very big into numerology. I've been for a long time. I see numbers like that. I have been for a long time. I see numbers and I can add them so quickly, like when in seconds, and get the single digit. Okay, so the 13 to get the 13-month is you add the month, which is 8, with the year, which is 2021. So that breaks down to 5. So 8 and 5 is 13. That also breaks down to a 4, which is also the number for Gaia. It's the number for new foundations, okay, for strength. So this is very important. So 13-month, divine feminine month. Here we go. That's why they're showing me this portal for 8/8 as divine feminine, okay? And that to me is the Isis and all of the other goddesses I'm getting. I also have with that love and compassion, because Isis and all of these other goddesses are about love. They're unconditional love and compassion. And the love, the unconditional love and the compassion you have to have yourself, but also for your fellow brothers and sisters. This is so, so important to be in that energy, okay? Now, the next thing I have, it's a 3-day, okay, which is Trinity. If you caught my other videos where I talk about the Trinity, remember, you are part of a Trinity. All of us are children of God, every single one of us. So we have Mother, Father, God, okay, and then we have ourselves as the child of God, all right? That's the Trinity, and the Trinity continues. Then when you take a partner and you have a child, you create another Trinity. But Mother, Father, God are always the God parents. They're always the parents. They are always the divinity that is within us. We are part of that one, that Trinity. So I was seeing the 3-day. I was seeing the number 3 for it and realized that that's a 3-day in Trinity, but also they kept showing me the triple goddess symbol. I was seeing it everywhere. I'm like, why do they keep showing me that? So that's just showing me what that is again, the divine feminine Christ. These are just my codes, divine feminine Christ consciousness codes. This is another part of this Trinity that's coming in. And on that day, these codes are going to be coming in to amplify the divine feminine Christ consciousness, because they've talked about the Christ consciousness for a long time, and they related it to Yeshua or Jesus, and that's the only Christ consciousness it is. They took it into a way that the Christ consciousness is a masculine thing or part of a masculine character. There is divine feminine Christ consciousness and masculine Christ consciousness. And so that's two. And then one, the two of those, but then the one Christ consciousness, which is the all. So everything goes in the triangles, everything goes in the threes. So it's very, it's becoming very precise what they're showing me. So it's going to be such a feminine day of energy that's going to be uprooting more of the masculine stuff in you that needs to be shaken to awaken, to be removed. So some of you are going to be going through transformation on that day. Some of you are farther along that's not going to be so hard for you, that you can actually receive the energies, these divine feminine loving energies, and be able to move forward by observing yourself, becoming aware of the things within you that have to be transformed, to be let go. And it'll be an easier day for you. Those in the third dimensional reality that are not awakened, the sun codes that are coming in that day, the amount of light, there's going to be this huge influx of light. It's going to awaken more. I was shown people awakening from their slumber. So I was actually seeing like a group of lions, and then all of a sudden they were all waking up, and they were like, they were hungry. This was the funny part. They were hungry. They weren't hungry for food. They were hungry for the truth. Very interesting. So the next thing is, because it's an 8, it's on the 8th day. 8 for me is the number of abundance, courage, power. It's eternal. Okay, eternity. Union keeps coming in for me lately with the number 8. I keep getting the word union with it. So I had tuned in a little more, and I'll explain that down here. But those kept coming in with the number 8 for me. And when I did that video years ago, I showed you how when you turn the number 8 sideways, and this is not the perfect symbol because, you know, I just kind of made it real quick. This is the eternity symbol, but also when you turn it the other way, it's the number 8. Now, I have been downloaded years ago that 8's also the number for Christ or Christ consciousness. So they showed me masculine and feminine, but constantly flowing. So 8 for me is also the number of flow, a constant flow. So an inner constant flow is freedom. If you're trusting in your process and you're allowing constant flow within you, okay, to happen without blocking it from the false identity created ego, you know, the drama, then the constant flow allows you to become free and free yourself from the chains that bind, free yourself from that false ego, that self that you created that you truly are not. Okay. And in this flow, you obtain your freedom. That's connected to Aquarius, which I said, Aquarius for me is freedom, but also in your freedom is the power of love. And that's what 8/8 is about. It takes place during the sign of the lion. Okay. It takes place during the zodiac sign of the lion. The symbology of the lion is courage, is big love, is big heart. If you haven't seen this, if you have not ever really looked at a lion's nose, I'm going to show you right now, because that's one thing that I noticed a long time ago. I was probably a kid, and just kind of came back to me now. If you look at a lion's nose, okay, I'm talking about, I'm not going to show it to you just yet. You see this right here. This kind of looks like the front of a kitty cat's nose. Okay, you want to say the front of a kitty cat's nose. But this is also the union. This constant flow is a constant union in you. So if you take the 8 and turn it back the other way, you have that constant flow of the union of the sacred mind, crosses the sacred throat chakra, sacred voice, goes down around the sacred heart and goes back up. I've always seen the number 8 there. That's the constant flow, which is union, okay, flow, but also creates a balance. I keep getting balance for this as well. So I'm going to show you the lion's nose because I want you to see this and see what I'm saying. Both sides are hearts. Okay. If you don't think a lion stands for love, look again and really feel the energy that comes from a lion. When you just sit back and look at them and how they love each other, they kiss each other and lick each other and groom each other. It's so loving. And anyone that wants to kill a lion, I don't understand it. So we're going to put out there that that does not happen anymore in this world. We're going to create that. No more of that. No more taking the lives of the wild animals. They're all creatures of God. They're gifts for the planet. So look at those hearts and how they are in balance and they create the union. Okay. Yeah. So I was like, I need to show this because I don't know how many people have ever really seen it. But for me, it's always, I see hearts everywhere. I see love in everything. So if there's a heart somewhere in the sky, on a rock, on a floor, in a tree, on a leaf, on a plant, on a bug, I'm going to find it. Not because I'm looking, just because it presents itself to me. And that's, I always see love. Okay. So this, I'm going to erase. Okay. Let's take this off. I hope I haven't lost you because this is information that I like to share everything that I receive. And I'm going to keep oh, they're over here. I'm like so in the moment that I just have to say this that I tend to forget everything and like where I put things and they're right in front of me. That's where my glasses one day and I'm like, I can't find my glasses. I gotta go to the store. They were on my face. Yeah, so that's how it happens. That's part of this whole process. Now, okay. I have all these notes here. And if you want to pop some popcorn or something, or pause the video and come back later because there's a lot of information, okay? So I've got all of that information I've given you. I have Isis. Okay, Isis. Okay, this for me when I look at Sirius, it presents itself in like a blue, that blue, like I showed you on here, that blue flashing color, and I feel it in my heart. It connects right to my heart. And I just feel it. And that's also connected to because we're connecting to Sirius, which is connected to the pyramids and Egypt. It's connected also to the River Nile, when it's supposedly floods or flooded every year at this time when the star Sirius would rise. Okay, there is a story about when Isis's divine counterpart, divine partner, sacred partner, Osiris, was murdered, that her tears filled the River Nile and it overflowed. That's when it flooded. Whether that's true or not, I don't get information on it, but it is a beautiful story because her heart was filled with so much love for him and so much compassion, but also so much pain that she had to work through. She cried so much that it rose the river, and she's the mother. She is one of the great mothers, and the waters of this earth are the mother's milk. I always call them the mother's milk, and without the mother's milk, we can't survive. So she filled the rivers on and over flooded it, but it also extended to the people. So it helped because you need water, especially in August and certain times of the year. It helped in more ways than one, but she placed her energy in there, even though it was painful, it was all full of love as well. So look at the things differently, observe things differently than, things being negative. Okay, change this because we are rewriting everything. We are not recreating the past. I know I have a lot of people asking me about astrologers that are talking about all these horrible things that are going to happen and they're seeing it in the charts that this happened, 100 years ago, and this happened 80 years ago, and this happened 200 years ago. But we're here as light workers to rewrite it in a new way. We're not here to hold on to the past. This whole Lionsgate is going to help you to release the stuff that you've been holding on to in the past that has to come up in the surge of the moment. Let's say with the surge of tears of the Nile, okay, with the rising of the flood within you, so that you can release those old energies, those old connections to past, so that you can move forward in your life, rewriting it, new beginnings. Okay, so remember, this Lionsgate's also taking place on the new moon. Okay. New moon. On the new moon, what I was getting is, I mean, it's always new beginnings. New moons are always new beginnings, because the full moon you release, and new moon you create new. But this being in Lionsgate and being abundance, okay, being courage, being eternal, being the Christ consciousness codes, being the divine feminine, the balance, the union, this is new beginnings in so many different ways. How are you going to rewrite your story? How are you going to create your new beginning with this new moon? Okay, this is such a big transformational day, not just taking away and giving away through this portal the things in your past that you don't need anymore, that you've been holding on to, but creating the new. The Leo is Leo is, okay, my partner is a Leo, okay? Not only does he likes to be the center of attention at times, okay, but that's just a Leo, and some of them are, but he's masculine, and a lot of the masculine are like that. But he's also got a big heart, okay? He's loving, but they also sometimes, the Leos, need the nudge to step into their courage, even though they've got that big heart. There's sometimes things holding persons back that are not allowing you to move forward in the courage and strength of your heart. And that's what this Lionsgate's also about. The courageous strength of this heart, of this shift with this divine feminine energy that is coming in. Okay, so I need to put Isis back up here. She just flashed herself at me. Thank you. Okay. So I'm just looking at my notes here, and okay, so I was talking about the Leo, and there's a part of the Leo side that's very interesting, because Leos can very much connect to drama, okay, and create a lot of drama in their life. And they have to then go back and release that drama and disconnect from that drama, because that's connected to the third dimensional reality. All right. I'm not saying that my partner's doing that, but everybody has their share of drama in their life when they're connected to the third dimensional reality. Now, in this time, what this gateway and on this specific day, and it being a new moon, is showing you to disconnect from the drama. So that's the shadow side of the Leo. Okay, the other side, okay, the light side of the Leo is the heart, it's the love, it's the courage, it's the creating. They like to climb, just like the Capricorn. I'm on the very last day of the Capricorn, the very last hours, so I'm not really that Capricorn energy, but they have both those signs like to climb the mountain. They don't give up, they keep going. And so those two can like push each other in their strength. And it's a power that's within all of you. And so I'm going to ask you right now, with this Leo energy, are you on the Leo shadow side in the world of drama, which is the third dimensional reality, and letting that take over your life? Or are you in the light side, stepping into your heart of courage, being that love that you are? Are you creating? Okay, are you one of those people that don't want to give up? Can you bring that power and courage and that strength back in and connect it in your heart's flame? Okay, in that Trinity heart flame. So, you know, which are you flowing in? Again, this is about flow. The 8, remember the 8 turns sideways is flow. All right, which side of the Leo Are you flowing in? Are you in the light side? Or are you in the shadow side? Are you in the drama? Are you in the creation cycle and the love? And this is the love for yourself. This is the unconditional love for self first. You have to love yourself first to go through this process, okay, to release these things, to step into your power. I love myself this much that I'm going to say no to that anymore. I'm not holding on to that past anymore. That's holding me into a loop. It's only holding me into one loop. Ha! See that? For all of you that I've worked with in sessions, and I talk about this loop, it holds you in one loop when you are connected to that drama, that 3D world, and it does not allow the flow. Okay? When you let go of that past, it no longer blocks your flow. And that's when the union starts to take place. It needs to take place. The flow. Okay? As above, so below. It's so important, and it's so vital to this process. And this allows that unconditional love for yourself. When you love yourself so much that you let go of the things of the past, the people, the places, okay, the synchronicities and vibrations, let them go, because now you're rewriting your life and you're starting it new. The past is no longer needed. It taught you what it needs to in that moment, but now you move on. Really important to see that. Okay. Oh, that's one of my notes. It's just flowing through me. So it's such a pivotal day of new beginnings, you guys. The new creations, trusting the new creation. And this is, when we do this, okay, this is on time. That's the time reality. This is the time reality when you only have half of it. All right. That's connected to the third dimensional reality. That's the time loop. When you get off of time and you're moving into that non-time, okay, which is what we're going through now, we're disconnecting from the linear to create in non-linear. We're just allowing things to flow because we are connecting with our divine will. All right. When that's happening, okay, these new beginnings that are happening out of time are for your new reality. They're no longer connected to the third dimensional reality of a timeline that was created by a control system that took over your mind and your thought processing and disconnected you from your hearts. And this is why 8-8 Lionsgate is so important. These divine feminine energies that are coming in, the divine feminine is the heart. I've talked about this in many videos. Okay. The sacred mind is the masculine, the divine feminine, the heart. This is where we can just be. This is where we feel. This is where we love. This is where we nurture. This is feminine. Okay. The sacred mind is where we receive, we allow ourselves to receive, and we receive information that comes from our higher self. And we create that, we bring that information through to create in the heart. This is what's happening. Then we have that false identity ego I talk about in my older videos. That's the false you, the person you think you are. Oh, I have studied my whole life. I'm an attorney and I'm fighting whatever for justice. But in reality, it's not who you are. You haven't found your God self. And your title isn't who you are. Your job doesn't make you who you are. I've talked about this in many videos in the back. Go back to 2018 and start watching them. Okay. That's the false identity created ego. That's that structured timeline that's created more of a complicated life for you, not a simplistic life. The life that's connected to the patriarchal control, the life that's on a watch all the time, okay? From 7 to 5 every day or 7 to 6 every day, I've got to be here. And then my hours after this, I got to do. No, that's not what we came here for. This is why everybody's waking up. You're disconnecting from that. You're disconnecting from the control of it. You're disconnecting from creating abundance for somebody else. It keeps going in specific areas. Okay. No more. 8-8 is going to help with the awakening, deeper awakenings, so that you can create your new foundation, so that you can become more of who you are. Okay, everybody, you're going to notice a little break in the video. That's because my internet went out. And so I'm continuing where I left off. So we're going to move into the sensitivity that you're going to feel on your physical bodies during this Lion's Gate. And some of you have been feeling this already for possibly up to a month already. Okay, I know in June, when I was in Mount Shasta, I started feeling, I was being prepared for what I needed to do for bringing those Magdalene codes through in July, but also being prepared through the whole summer for Lionsgate as well. And it's just going to continue. So one of the sensitivities, okay, so when the sun codes that come in, okay, during Lionsgate, they just don't connect. It's just not for the heart. All right. I want people to understand that when they come through, and spirit shows me, they put it right on the third eye, which goes to the pineal. Okay. So some of you may be having headaches, pressure in the head, pressure on the third eye, pain. And a lot of times that is because these codes coming in, they're going to do this. It's going to create this, and it may happen on 8/8 for you at a little more intensity. So just be prepared for that and know that that's what's happening. So those of you that maybe your third eye is not open all the way, or you want your third eye open, or the connection with it, or your pineal needs to come online more, that you're going to be experiencing this through your energy system, the third eye, through the energy system, through that chakra, into the physical body of the head and the pineal, okay? Because remember, our energy system is connected to our physical body. Everything is interweaved and interdesigned to work together, all right? So the other thing is, they always talk about the heart during Lionsgate because the courage of the heart of the lion. So your heart is being activated. A lot of you are already feeling this, the energetic heart. You're feeling the pain in your body. Of some of you are feeling it on the back, and some of you are getting it on the front. So it activates the heart chakra to open. It activates that to expand. Some of you are feeling expansion in the back, which we call the mother's gate. Some of you are feeling the expansion in the front, or you're having the cracking of the heart. So just know when you're having, or you might be having palpitations. And so that's the physical sensitivities you're going to feel with it. Some of you might start feeling divine love, and you're just like, oh, my heart feels so open and I feel so much love. That's the love of God. That's that energy comes in to remind you who you are, and that you are that love, and that's the love you carry within you. And that's what you have to recognize in yourself for your awakening. We aren't these humans running around on the earth every day on this time machine. We are love, and we came in to be that love, and we're here to restore that love on the planet for Gaia. Our first and foremost answer when we came here was to help Mother Earth, to bring her back into her righteousness, to help her with her ascension, to help her become that star that she is, that light that she is, by removing the darkness on the planet. And it happens through you. So this Lionsgate lineup is doing it through the energetic body and the physical body. So the last one is the solar plexus, and that one is just above the belly button there. Some of you can connect with it on the belly button, but others above the belly button. So that's the solar plexus, and that's also called our inner sun. That's our divine will. So the sun also connects, like when I go out in the sun every day and I do my morning stuff in the sun, it goes straight to my third eye. I feel it to my heart, and it goes right to my solar plexus, and it expands those chakras. And that is where we take in the prana of the sun. So to stand facing the sun is a good thing to receive that energy, and it fills you with energy. So it's always good to do it in the morning. So if you have to go to work and you take a break at lunch and the sun's out, go out and stand in there and revitalize yourself, get more of that good energy, that prana from the sun, those codes into your body. You take it in through that solar plexus. So some of you might be having like indigestion at this time, stomach aches, nausea, might not be able to eat. Okay, that is your body, because your body is a tool. Your physical body is a tool, and it's telling you, Don't eat those foods. Don't drink these drinks. You need to be pure right now. You're going through purification. Ascension, a major part of ascension is purification of the physical body, because you're becoming crystalline. You're becoming crystalline. This is the process. You're becoming that star being that you are. That's why I always put videos up of my hands and everything, of the crystals that are in them and how like shiny they are. They're all over my body. I was astounded the other day when I walked past the mirror and I saw them on my face, and I was like, oh, I just kept looking. I was like, wow, I'm shiny. So you can't see them now because I have makeup on. I wear makeup in Arizona during the day too, because it's organic makeup that's got sunscreen to keep my skin safe. But not to go off on that kind of stuff. I'll probably get emails. What makeup do you use? Because that's always happens. But this is what's happening with the sensitivity during Lionsgate. So again, the head, you will have heart stuff going on. You will have the solar plexus stuff. You will have stuff going on. Some of you will have issues with, you'll have to run to the restroom right away, or you are going to have other issues. So just know that that's part of this. And if you're holding on to things in the past, it's going to be hard for you to actually go to the restroom. So you see, when you let things go, there's flow. So this meaning is in more than one way. And I just had to say that because it's so true. I've seen it with people. And so when I do the activations, like especially when I do, private retreats here in the home, or when I do activations at a lot of the events that I do, and our ladies will leave and they're purging that day and all night because they're so strong going through the DNA at that cellular level to get you to release things. It's forcing that release that you've been holding on to, these things that you've been controlling. And the divine will that's within the solar plexus, that's a control center. If you're trying to hold on to something, you're going to create a block there. Okay. You're not allowing your divine will. You're not allowing the flow. Lionsgate is about flow, letting go to allow the flow. All right. So let's go on. So the goddesses that presented themselves to me were Artemis. She's been like presenting herself to me for Lionsgate for like over and over. And so she is also a goddess of the moon. So she has the crescent moon on her. Sometimes you'll see it on her forehead or somewhere on, if you see art with her. And, Lionsgate's happening on the new moon. So she's coming and representing that. She is like this warrior goddess, but we are not here to be these warriors anymore. We're not here to transform things in a warlike stature. We're here to transform with the love of our heart. We came back here for love. And that's how we came back to transform this planet, from our hearts, in peace, in love, with our own inner wisdom. Okay, connected to source, Mother, Father, God, whichever you wish to call them. Some people call it Allah, some people call it other things. Okay, whatever you want to call it. That's what we came back for, the connection here. All right. So Artemis, even though she's portrayed as this warrior, she protects children. Okay. She also protects women. So she's very divine feminine, even though she doesn't look divine feminine. She also chose to remain abstinent her whole life in her life, which is the sign of purification. And that's another thing that Lionsgate does. It takes you through another level of your purification every year. So whatever you're holding on to, it's going to be like, we need to get that out. So not only this, but when I do the webinar for Lionsgate, I'm going to have even more codes coming through to assist you with your purification, to help you release things you're holding on to that's in the cells, in the DNA. Because remember, you've lived so many lifetimes and you're carrying your family lineage. Every time someone's birthed and birthed and birthed and birthed, they're still carrying the codes of those that have gone before them. So if those that have gone before them have held on to things in the past as wars, catastrophes, all these things, and you don't know why you're afraid of things, it's because somebody along the way has not healed that. And now here you are, you're the one here to heal it. So a lot of those codes are going to come through in this webinar. These are things that I usually do in private sessions, which are a lot more many, but I was shown to do this for this webinar to help you guys to free yourself to move forward fluidly. They're saying fluidly, so flowingly. Okay, perfect. The other goddess is Sedona. Sedona, she is a goddess. And she is around the water. I see Sedona, connected to flow, connected to infinite supply. Things are always infinite, abundance. That mother is abundant. You're always going to have what you need from mother. Mother gives us fruit and vegetables, and she gives us water. She gives us all the things we need, and we've taken advantage of her for so long. We are going back to that. We are going back to simplicity. I've been saying this for years. Simplicity is key. Growing your own foods, growing your own vegetables. Okay. Being in one with Mother Earth and connected to her. Not having to rely on outside sources for your food, for those kinds of things. Things are going to change. They're going to change. They're going to be simple. Half the stuff that's sold in supermarkets are things you don't want to put in your body anyway. Okay. So get ready. Get some organic seeds, buy organic fruits and vegetables. One of the things I did years ago was I started saving the seeds and putting them in baggies from organic fruits and vegetables. And I've been moving. Every time I move, I take them with me. So they're somewhere here in a box. Now I just need the land. And one of these days, and it's coming, I know it's coming. My team has showed me someone's going to donate land for me they showed me 3 houses on it and water. There's moving water. And it's going to be donated, and I'll have to put like investment into it because the houses will need some fixing up and stuff. But then it's going to be like a community little thing where people can come for healing and stuff. I've been seeing it for years. I'm waiting. Whenever is the perfect divine time, I'm ready. So we will see what happens. The other goddess that came in is Sekhmet. Sekhmet is connected to Egypt, so I'm not surprised that she came in. She's very much about courage and boldness and strength, okay? Power and wisdom of the divine feminine, but don't fall into the power of the trap of power in the wrong way, in a negative way. It's the power of the heart, okay? It's the power of your internal wisdom, all right? Utilize that. Sekhmet always has lions with her as well. I remember working with her in Egypt. I remember her. Okay, so Lakshmi has been coming in. When I embodied Lakshmi in 2017, that was like, I remember that embodiment, and I was gifted this huge crystal lotus right in front of me. And they said, it's yours. It's been yours for a long time. We're returning it to you. And I stepped on it, and it was like a seat in it. It's like this big crystal lotus that you can sit in. And I was just sitting in there. And after that happened, my sessions went from, a few a week to I was working 6 days a week all day long. So Lakshmi is coming in with this one for everyone. Lakshmi is flow, again, prosperity, okay? There's a lot of different meanings behind it, but she's coming in for this: abundance, flow, prosperity. Are you ready to create your new flow? Are you ready to create your prosperity in a way that's in service to source, but also to your soul's work, okay? The last goddess that's been coming in besides Isis and the ones I mentioned earlier is Abundancia, another prosperity goddess. I'm like, okay, this is abundance coming in. And now Abundancia is not just about prosperity and money, but prosperity in everything, prosperity in love, in space, in creating, instead of being stuck on time, the space for you to create in, as in the time for you to create in when we're talking about hours or lengthwise that way, okay? Abundance in food or necessities, okay? The things that you need. So all of these goddesses that were showing themselves over and over to me for like 6 weeks, same ones, boom, 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 boom. I was like, whoa, what's going on? So I'm really getting that with this Lion's Gate, but this is really connecting with those divine feminine Christ consciousness codes. Okay. Now, the divine feminine Christ consciousness, all right, that energy is so connected to the heart. Okay. For those of you that didn't watch my last video, or maybe I can't remember if I put it in that video, maybe I just did it on the Patreon for Patreon members, there was a big piece between William and I that I went into the Akashic records and found that was putting like a space between us. And when I found it, I was ecstatic. I cried because I was able to go and release that, and he released, and it was connected to the downfall of self-worth for divine feminine. And so we were able to release that and pull that out of the grid. And a couple of the sisters were here from the Sisters of the Road that were just initiated and activated on July 22nd. The three of us in a Trinity went and we changed it. We put new self-worth into the grid for the divine feminine and for everyone. Because remember, this doesn't, taking away a woman's self-worth or a man's self-worth doesn't just affect the opposite sex, it affects both of you. Because the person that was saying something to someone to degrade someone was only judging themselves. So if you're only judging yourself, then you feel that way about yourself first. Okay. So remember that. So these divine feminine Christ consciousness codes in the time of, and I'm going to use this timeline just to share this, in the time of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, they both were so powerful, especially Mary Magdalene. She had so many powers of the divine feminine that we have that, you know, the masculine have not been able to connect with. And that's just the way God created us. And that's the way God gifted us. And that's okay. But in that time when she was shunned, okay, by the masculine, because of her powers and because of her love for her husband, yes, he was her husband. I've seen the whole thing. In that shunning, she still opened her heart and she still sent love to everyone. No matter how she was treated, she unconditionally loved them back. She didn't judge them. She saw where they were. And this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do for yourself. See yourself, observe where you are. When you are in a conversation with someone, or when you're in an event with someone, or you're somewhere, notice how you're acting or reacting. Is it coming from love? Is it coming from a place of love? Is it coming from that courageous heart that you have within you that's filled with the love of God, the love of mother and father, the love that you are because you are a child of them? This is what this Lion's Gate is going to be assisting with. These are these codes coming in. And I'm going to leave it there. So the rest of the information I have, the next 12 pages from Isis, will all be revealed in the Lion's Gate webinar. And again, you guys, I'll put the link in the description below. There's a lot of people already signed up because last year's, all the webinars I've done have been so powerful. They are never connected to linear time. You can do them anytime. So if you haven't done some of them, go back and do them. Some of them are $33, some of them are $44. I make it priced so that you can afford it. Okay. All right. I want you guys to be able to take what you can from this, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. That's what I always say. But this is what I received for Lion's Gate, and these activations are going to be powerful. I will be singing in new codes with my new equipment. I will also be activating and speaking codes. So it's going to be powerful. I cannot wait to see you all there. I love you, and I wish you a blessed, beautiful Lion's Gate full of love. And may you release the past and the things that no longer serve you, nor this planet, nor humanity. Na okaye ni shiantama opuk nies nos achbar. Namaste.
Io so tu, farascia